Greetings, dear ones. Today, I want to talk on a very deep and important aspect of our spiritual evolution, what blocks our spiritual evolution, and how these blockages only can become our redeemers. If you look very closely, all these so called problems that we have in life, the hurdles and challenges, or whatever we call as real problems or barriers to our spiritual goals, if you observe carefully, you will come to know that these problems always existed. Only thing they were not prominent, they were in some hidden form somewhere. Like, for example, you and your relationships, if you see, there are most of the time there are conflicts among relationships. So while the things were going good also, it did doesn't mean that this conflict did not exist. This conflict existed also when you were in good terms with those people. But somewhere it was deep down. There was a conflict. There was something that was not matching with each other, but some flaw was there, but it was hidden. But what dominated it was the good aspects of us and the other persons. So that remained good till the time this deeper aspect, negative aspect, raised its hood. The moment it raises its hood, that becomes more prominent, the negative part of it, and the positive submerges, goes down. So, what happens exactly is now the negativity has taken over, which we call as a challenge or an obstacle. This is just an example that I am giving with a relationship like this. It happens in all aspects, all areas of our life. You can see that the negativity was always there. It was never that it was not there. Only thing we did not see it because the positivity was so much prominent. You see in any aspect of life. It's just like what I say about Satoguna, Tamoguna, Rajoguna. All these three gunas are there. But you can never say that no gunas exist in me. No. Even the most holier person will have maximum of Satoguna. Let's say 90% or 92%. Rest of the 8% can be distributed among tamas and rajas, but there will be, only thing it is lying low. Like another example is Kaliyuga. Kaliyuga has got negativity on its maximum, but that doesn't mean positivity does not exist. It is existing, but it is in unnoticeable quantities in Ghor Kaliyuga. And the opposite, Satyuga, if you see, it's all positive and divine, but it doesn't mean there is no negativity and no evil. There is, but it is lying at a very low percentage. So this is the revelation that I got in the past 2 months that I've been traveling and contemplating and reflecting and introspecting on deeper truths of life. I see that these things are also existing in all aspects of our life. Only thing, it's not seen the negative aspects. So when does it become prominent? When it becomes prominent, we say we have a challenge, we have a problem, we have an obstacle, we have a hurdle. You get that? So what I'm trying to say is awareness, the shifting into awareness that I often speak of. If you shift into awareness, you will become aware of that little aspect of negativity even while you are going good, even while everything is as going as so-called all is well. All is not really well. That is why I don't agree with that term, all is well. No, it can never be that all is well. Something is lurking down there, but only thing, it's not significant yet. But it will become significant, and that is how the karmas play a role. Whenever your prarabdha karma ripens, whenever the karma ripens and is about to fructify, how does it fructify? It needs a seed. And this is the seed of negativity that is always lying beneath us, deep within us. So when the time is ripe, it fructifies and it becomes a fruit. That is when it becomes prominent and dominant over other aspects of life. So this cycle which is there, it's a repeated cycle. If you can observe and catch this by shifting into awareness, if you shift into awareness, you can see this. You can notice all these patterns. And what happens when you notice all these patterns, it has lesser chances of becoming prominent when it is even supposed to. Means, if you are aware that there is a thief hiding in your house somewhere, you will be always in caution. You will know. Or let us say there is a traitor like Judas. Judas was with Jesus. Among the 12 disciples, one was a traitor. One actually handed Jesus over to the enemies by taking some money. He was bribed, so he became a traitor to Jesus. So he was the Judas. That is why it's called as the Judas. Now this Judas remained unnoticed among all the other rest of the disciples. They never even knew there is a Judas among us. There is a negative aspect in all these positive aspects. But Jesus knew. Jesus knew. That's what I'm talking about. The awareness of knowing things in hand, so that you can tackle it well enough. Well, this was all sort of pre-planned, you can say, where Jesus knew that such and such thing is going to happen, and Judas is also going to become an instrument. He knew that he is going to become an instrument towards what was destined to happen in the role of Jesus on earth. Jesus knew that. So he was aware of it, and he was well prepared for everything. So this is what I am talking about, awareness. If we have this deep awareness, and when can we have that? When we shift into awareness. When do we shift into awareness? When we move away from the mind. When we are in mind, as long as we are operating from the mind, it is very, very difficult to get into awareness. So shifting into awareness is all about stopping the thinking thought process and moving into that state, shifting your zone, shifting your consciousness from that unknown to the known, from that things that are ignorant to that is wise and divine. So you shift your perspective, you shift your consciousness from the gross to the subtle, from the ignorance to wisdom. And when we do this practice of shifting into awareness again and again, you become more aware of these hidden negativities in your life, which now you will know can become a cause of your conflict or obstacles. Means you are knowing in advance that this aspect in your life has all the probability to become your obstacle. Now, by looking into this, it doesn't mean that you are looking into something. It's like a foretelling, and you're understanding beforehand something is going to happen. I'm not talking about the siddhi where you know and then you act upon it. No, I'm talking about this awareness where you become aware of this, but you are not hell-bent on destroying it. You are not hell-bent on finding a remedy even while you see it. Like Jesus saw Judas. He was not busy searching for a remedy what to do, which is Judas. But he was aware of the presence. So similarly, we can become aware of this presence of this particular obstacle that is going to spring up today or tomorrow and going to create a hassle for me. So in this, what happens is you are prepared. You do nothing about it. You do nothing about the Judases in your life. You are not reactive to them. You are not doing anything, but you are observant, and you are wise enough to see the patterns, to see all the things around you. This is what I mean to say. Not just in your life. You will have a deep insight into what's happening in your life, around your life, who all are attached with your life, the people that you interact with, the places that you interact with, the environments that you are in, all the situations. You are in certain kind of awareness, and you can see through things which are not right even before they become not right. So this is the power of that observation and reflection and shifting into awareness. So the concept is not about shifting into awareness, identifying them and running to and trying to destroy it, or taking precautions by trying to do something about it. There's nothing to do about it. All that you need to do is just be aware of it. That's all. That is what I put in today's post also. The concept that to find your enemy and destroy it is, I don't find it useful at all. In many of the spiritual practices we have, hunt your sins and destroy them. Hunt your negativities and destroy them. Find where all your weaknesses are and destroy them. That doesn't really happen. This is what I have studied and experimented on my life. This is what the post I put today. You cannot kill the ego. So basically, all that I'm telling you right now is all about the ego, because ego is the cause of all these negative aspects within us, all the darker aspects within us. So to say that, it's like, you become aware of your ego now. Whatever I'm saying is that when you become aware of negativity, I'm saying, or ignorance, I'm saying you are indirectly becoming aware of your ego, the false I, the false identity. So when you become aware of it, you are not threatened by it, you are not disheartened by it, you are not depressed by it, you are not hurt by it, you are not sorrowful by it, nor you are fearful of it, nor you are reactive to it, nor do you want to kill it, destroy it, and all that. You are just observant, because in awareness, you are just an observer, you just witness things, you observe things. So you observe your ego. So you cannot kill your ego. It's a wrong concept when we say destroy your ego. I've seen many places talking about this. The ego is your main problem. Kill it. Remove your ego. Destroy your ego, and then you will be. You try doing it. I haven't seen anybody who has destroyed his ego. I can get more deeper into this, more deeper, but right now not, because of time constraints. But if you want, you can ask me. I'll tell you how. But I have not seen anybody killing the ego. The ego is always present. As I said, the more spiritual, the more holier you become, the more divine you become. That's all good. The divinity is a bubbling thing. Maybe you can say even till 98%, but still the 2% ego will be there. You kill it, you are killed. Your identity is killed. Your personality is killed. Your body is killed. Your body will just drop off. Because what is keeping your body alive? It's the ego. This identity, this necessary of doing something. The doership also comes from this. I am taking up this mobile right now and doing something. It's a doer. It's a doer, but many people say you should not have doership. You should not have that effect. You cannot destroy it. You should not have means you take it away. How are you going to take it away? Just tell me. If anybody has remedies, please write here. How are you going to take off that eye? Because the moment you take off that eye, the taker is gone. There is actually no one to even claim, oh, I took it off. Because the moment you take it off, you have disappeared. Everything, the I-ness is disappeared. You become pure awareness. That is self-realization. Not even self-realization, because even in self-realization, I'm telling you, there will be ego. Because self-realization doesn't mean clearing of your karmas. There are still karmas, and there is still identification with the body. It's a wrong concept to again say that you are self-realized on your ego. No, ego will be there, but that ego will be used for positive aspects. When does the ego go? Liberation, moksha, when you are completely dissolved, when you decide no more and you are simply extinguishing your identity or grossness, and you just evaporate into that, like turning into light. You turn into light. Till the saint is there, he's singing a song, like Tukaram is there. He was singing a song. Saintliness, there is a doer, there is a singer. There is somebody who even wants to do something, even wants to spread the word of God, wants to talk about God. The saintly people, I'm telling you. There is an ego aspect, which is actually the positive ego. But there is ego. So when he says, I now want to exit this system itself, and the whole identity just evaporates. The turning into light or ascension, they ascend, or they become one with the entire creation, the source. That's the end of ego. So till then, dear ones, it's not practical to just talk some philosophies and we hear it from somewhere and just parrot it out, like, even tell our near and dear ones, kill your ego, your egoistic, remove that ego. They cannot, poor thing. Teach them to become aware of their ego. Teach them how to witness their ego, become an observer of their ego without trying to do anything. Don't try to kill it. Don't try to kill the Judas. Let Judas do its work when it has to do what it has to do. You be the mere witness to it. And I'm telling you, the moment you witness your ego or any aspect, any negative aspect of you, that aspect becomes powerless. It has power only in your ignorance or when you're not conscious about it. In your unconsciousness only, all these takes advantage. So let's say you have a relationship and somebody whom you're trusting suddenly turns against you or suddenly has bad feelings towards you. Now, when a relationship becomes bitter, you won't become bitter. If you are in self-awareness, if you have practiced shifting into awareness and you have lived that way, any relationship, however deep, however strong it might be, it will not affect you. It might just give you a nudge of something, but you are not going to drool and follow it. Why? Because you are aware of all the possibilities of it becoming sour. There were also many indications that came through time and again. If you recollect what I'm telling you right now, also if you become aware, you'll see some patterns. Like, let's say you have a spoiled relationship with someone. Just imagine and see. Did it just spoil overnight? No. Over the years, there were so many hints that there is negative aspects, that this might go wrong. But we ignore that in the false concept of all is well. When all is well we are turning our head towards the so-called optimism. Let me be an optimistic. Optimistic is fake, because you are becoming only enlightened about the good aspects, but you are hiding, you are turning away your back towards the negative aspects. And when that negativity comes in front of you, you fall flat, because you were never prepared for it. That is why for many, life is a rude shock. They cannot get over it. You see people, when they are faced with some challenges, and especially in relationships, and they cannot take it. Somebody dying because of a relationship has gone wrong or something. Imagine the trauma that they have. Imagine the ignorance, I would say. The heights of ignorance, because they were never prepared for it. They were all living in this comfort zone, the goody, all the niceness in that person, only the niceness. And they were imagining only nice is there, only nice, all is well. Until once you get a slap. Suddenly that slap is so hard that you can't take it. You can't bear it. That's what ignorance can do. That is what unawareness can do. That is what I am trying to focus so much on. As a part of spiritual evolution, as a part of any spiritual path that you're following, any religion that you're following, any faith that you're following, awareness is a must. If you don't have awareness, I always tell, anything that you do is of no use. This is not a path by itself. What I'm trying to teach here or trying to share here, this is not a path by itself. I'm not saying leave your path and follow this. No, whichever path you are, you become aware of that path. And in that path, there are good, bad, everything comes. Every aspect of life, there is this good, bad, ugly. Every aspect. Even you go to the highest lokas, there are this. Till there is duality, there has to be opposites. So let us not hide out or shy away from this fact that, no, if it is spiritual, then everything is good. No. Spiritual or spirituality also is dual. The paths are dual. The religion is dual. The faiths are dual. Your belief systems are dual. Everything is dual. Worship is dual. It will have its flaws. It will have its goodness. So we catch the goodness, but we become aware of the opposite also. That is how we go in it. So what I am trying to teach here, what I am trying to share here, and whatever I try and give advance is the consultations that I am doing. The sessions that I hold with one-to-one. This is all that I do. This is all that I make them aware of the aspects of them which are darker and which they are unable to see. I don't just make them aware of it. I teach them how to become aware, so that you become independent. And you learn how to do it, because this is how we can help each other truly. So it doesn't mean change your path, change your religion. Nothing it has to change. You just become more aware of who you are on the path. Who are you on the path? What is your role on the path? What is the path doing to you? What are you doing to the path? How is the religion affecting you? How are you affecting the religion? What are the doctrines and principles that you are following? What is the goodness in it? What is the ignorances in it? Everything you see in clarity, because everything can be seen through. What does he catch then? Whatever is true at that moment, what is awareness, what his or her awareness is catching at that moment, they become conscious of that, and they live in that moment with that aspect of both the good and the bad, of the plus and the minus, the positive and the negative. So there is no ignorance, there is no trying to dodge or run away from that negative aspect. And this is what I am also teaching very deeply in inner child healing. I've done this before, and I am continuing to doing 1:1. Of course, online I have not started much, only just one or two I have just begun. But personally, I do this a lot. Individually, wherever I meet people or I have an opportunity or they ask for some help or guidance on this, I teach them this by giving them an experiential example. They experience that. Philosophy is of no use. I'm not just preaching. I'm actually giving them that experience while we are doing this practice. And while we do this practice, when they become aware of and conscious and they become enlightened enough to see that, that gives them motivation to look into other aspects of their life and continue now using the tools that they are already using. Whichever religion, path, faith, belief, whatever they are doing, whatever systems they are following, that gives them more conscious awareness of living with it properly. Like I've seen so many people using tools of so many kinds of tools in the paths or systems, or even people in the religious system, they are worshipping, they are doing the pujas, they are doing, but they are not aware fully of what they are doing. Also, you ask them what they are doing, they don't know. So I'm telling, when I make them aware of what they are doing, they are so grateful and they are so happy that some results are coming, which for years they did and no results came because they never understood the depth of it. So once they become conscious and aware of it, once they are shown how, it becomes easier. So when people come to me with the relation problems or this problems or that issues and this issues, that life, I'm not giving them any remedies telling that do this or chant so many mantras and this will happen. That you have already been doing. I am saying if you are already doing that, I tell you how to chant. I make them more aware of what they have been doing, how they have been doing, and what they need to do, and what are the pros and cons, and what are the good things that happened while they did it, and what are the ignorances that they were doing due to which results were not happening. So certain aspects, when it is made clear to them, they are very happy because the results start coming. That is what I mean on this path of evolution, spiritual evolution. If you need to progress, you need to become fully aware of every aspect of life. And how does that happen? That happens by becoming aware, by practicing the small. It is the awareness, the subject is very deep, dear ones. It's not as simple as it looks, because every time I'm in different places meditating, lot of things have been revealed to me. So it is just at the tip of the iceberg. Like I told you, there are two kinds of awareness. One is gross and one is the subtle. So what I teach actually is beginning with the gross awareness, and then I move into the subtle. Directly if you teach subtle, people cannot handle it. So all the practices that I've already been teaching most of the time is all about gross awareness. So once you learn that, then the subtle awareness becomes easier. So these are the experiments that I did with my own life, and by the grace of my master and many masters and many great beings that I've met, and the places that I visited where many things sprung up, but I have not been able to share it completely. Like I told you the other day, I was sitting in the Ramana's cave up above the Skanda ashram in Tirunamalai on Arunachala hill. So many revelations were coming. I made a video that this is a beautiful place, I'll share a lot of things, but by the end of the day I couldn't share anything. But there was so much, it's all there within me, but I couldn't share, and there is no urge to say. That urge was lost. That is that power of that place, Ramana's place, which is all about silence. So there are certain aspects which cannot be told even if you want to, because only when the time is right, when it has to happen, it will happen spontaneously. So I am a believer of spontaneity. I go by how life takes me. By whatever the videos also I make, I have no plans. The life that I do, all the activities I do, no plans at all. Whatever flows spontaneously through me, I try to share that in as it is being shared. And whatever is being restricted for the moment, I cannot share for that moment. Maybe probably it's for some other time. So this is how I have learned life works, and this is how the beauty is when you are aligning to that divine. It's called the divine will. You are surrendering to that. So it's not like I have to do this, I will do it. No, if I am more like if I have to do it, I will be made to do it. It will happen through me. If it is not supposed to, it will never happen through me. So whatever I am doing, I know it is supposed to happen through me. And whatever I have not been able to do, it was not supposed to happen through me. So this is a different perspective you get of life, and I'm telling you, it's very rewarding, very rewarding, very nourishing, very enlightening, very peaceful. Lot of contentment comes in because you have the deeper meaning of life. You understand life in its reality. Most of our confusions are because we are still confused. We have so many doubts. We are not sure of how life works. And if we do not know how life works, how can we know how my life is going to work? That's the catch of it. So I think it's enough for today. I'll be making many videos on this same terms, which will help you shift into awareness. And I am also opening up the sessions, the personal sessions. In case anybody is interested, you can click the link below. I think in 1 or 2 days it will start coming, and then you can just click the link below, and then you can just there is a form, then you can just online send that, and that will come to me, and you can choose whatever you want to do. It might be personal session on any aspects of light that you want to be shed, in any aspect of the ignorance or darkness that you cannot see through. I can help you find that. And once we do that, then if somebody wants to go into deeper sessions like inner child healing, inner trauma healing, because I have been through a lot, and I have chunked out a major stuff out of me, and I can see how liberating it is. So this is the gift that I got, and I want to share and want to help others also in that, especially your childhood traumas or abuse. I have been meeting many people, and that's what I think the divine is bumping me into so many people who have had so many issues, and I can see results coming out in their lives. So I thought I'll start helping people on this manner, but because I need to value and respect my time and energy, I'm keeping this energy exchange system, which is what we call as currency or money. There will be a charge for it. So we are exchanging. I'm exchanging something for something, and you are exchanging something for something. So there's a give and take, and it's a balanced give and take. And then we have intuitive readings also. This I will not suggest much because I don't want to go more into it. Intuitive reading is all about the card readings, the tarot reading, the oracle card readings, and it's more of like being a psychic medium. It's more of how you can work with your intuitions and the divine connections and what flows through you and all that. I've been doing that anyways in my life. All the time I've been doing psychic work only, whether you know it or not. That's another story. But I use those abilities and those gifts to work with the cards, and I can see beautiful results in my life and the others' life. But I'm not going to use this card as a common thing that just put it out, and then anybody comes and then they want to know when they are going to get married, how they are going to have that career, and how many children, and when they are going to die, and when they are going to get out of certain problems and all. No, not all that stuff. This is deeply related with your spiritual evolution. This is with your soul growth. So in case you want to sign up for that also, you can put it, but the message, but I'm telling you, I will decide that one, who needs a reading and who doesn't need a reading. I will be honest enough to tell you, no, you don't need that. You need counseling on something, you can do that. So who are adhering to that, who can actually, because this is not a passive participation of you, where you want somebody to do reading and you just sit mum. No, it will be active participation. So you should be knowing some aspects of that intuitiveness, so that I'm going to actually tell you how to use your intuitions in that. It's not mine. I'll be using mine, but I'll be guiding you how to use your intuition also. So this is not for everybody. This one which is there, I will refrain for the time being, and I will decide whether you need it or not. And I'm not going to use it for mundane stuff like knowing your love life, knowing your finances, knowing your future, and all that blah blah blah. It's purely for spiritual evolution. So these are the 3 kinds of sessions that I'm putting in here. But I thought I must make this awareness video also. There needs to be lot to be known about this awareness, because once you know the power of this awareness, even I'm telling you one brief thing, I'm telling you, all the paths, all the religions, all the systems that go towards liberation, what are you liberating from? You're liberating from ignorance. And how? You got to work to Cleanse your mind. It is all about purification of the mind. Any path, I'm telling you, any path you take the Raj Yoga, you take Bhakti Yoga, you take the Jnana Yoga, you take the Karma Yoga, any path that you take, Kundalini Yoga, you take the Laya Yoga, any path you take, it all works on your mind, purification of your mind. So it is nullifying the mind. So it is actually, cleansing the mind completely. And when your mind cleanses, automatically you see who you are. That is what I realized here also in Tirunamalai. Who am I? Who am I? I am that real I. I am that pure source. I am that God. I am Shiva, what we say. I am God. What Jesus said. So I am that. I am. So if I am that pure awareness, why don't I realize it? Because the mind is covering that pure I am, and the mind is playing all the games, because all the kleshas, all the dirt is in that mind, and that mind does not allow you to go within and realize who you are. So it keeps you hovering around that real I with a pretension of a false I. The mind is a false I. The mind has all these ideas. I am so and so. I am this body. I am this mind. All these kind of patterns. So every activity that you do from morning to evening, you see you are using your mind. And the more you use your mind, the more you are strengthening the I am this body. The more you strengthen I am the body, the mind is strengthened. And if the mind is strong, you can never get into self-realization. So all the paths, all the religions, every system that is provided on earth work actually, this is the secret, guys, I'm telling you, work directly over the mind. Any kind of, you do yogas, you do hatha yogas, you do sadhana, you do tapas, you do austerities, you do anything, everything is the clearing of the mind. The karma clears. When karma clears, what happens? First it withdraws from the mind. The karma is holding the mind. You see, the jnanamaya kosha is holding the manomaya kosha. So there are all these processes. You cleanse from upper layers or lower layers or any layer. It is about cleansing the mind and releasing all these from the mind, whether it's coming from the upper layers or the lower layers. Because if the mind is blank only, you can see who you really are, because all the fluctuations will just drop. And when all these fluctuations, all the vrittis, all the mental patterns just drop down, die down, you're able to see, just like the dirty water in a glass of water, dirty water, you just leave it, you can't see through. But after some times, when it all settles down, the water becomes very crystal clear. So then you can see through. So that's all that the whole path is about. And awareness teaches you directly to get into that mind, because now you watch the mind play everything, and when they watch it, it starts. That's a deeper thing that I'll share in another video. This I just wanted to make you aware of this process of what happens. And all this has come in my past 2 months of travel to various places, very, very deep insights of how this needs to be done. So in case you need any help on this, you can sure write to me, or you can directly sign up for that. In 1 or 2 days, I'll put those links, and all those sessions will start after 2nd June. So till then, I'm just giving them the dates, and 1 or 2 I did already, but the rest of things I want to do it after 2nd only. So much love and light to all of you. Till we meet next time. Lots of divine love and light. Stay blessed.